This was a day that within prison that the first change started creating in me. It was December 10th, 2010. I woke up and it was eerily silent. And I started hearing commotion in the cell beside me. And I see a couple of the correctional officers going to the room beside us, and we're hearing them just tearing apart this room. And my first thought's better him than me. Like, better him than me. And that's the self-centered and selfish nature of this disease. Like, I associate with this man every day. I've used with this man every single day. I know what he's got in his room over there. And my first thought's better him than me. My second thought was there's no better time than now. Like, I know this is my chance for us to get high, and we don't have to worry about the correctional staff for once. He's getting it ready. I'm looking out the window watching it. And I'm like, wait, hold up. I was like, here comes the police. You know, my bunkie takes his shot. I go over there and I get my fix as well. And I'm looking back out the little window, and it's, you know, about this big. And I slowly see a gurney come by and a black bag, and a guy that I used to use with laying on it roll right past me. I knew why. You know, I knew exactly why he was in that bag. I knew exactly why he was no longer here. And my first thought was, I need to get that dope. The first thing that came into my mind, it wasn't, oh my God, this is horrible. It wasn't remorse for this man's family. It wasn't the phone call that his mom's about to get because for the first time in her life, she probably felt that he was safe. It wasn't none of that. It was, I need to get that dope. And that's the disgusting nature of this disease. And I laid there that night in my cell, and it was the first time that I felt anything other than the numbness and the pain and everything in prison. Like, I felt bad. I felt just how, like, that, just how disgusting that thought was. It hurt. And I knew that, you know, at this time, my daughter's in the foster care system. And my mom could be getting the same phone call, or my dad could be getting the same phone call because I went and used that drug. And December 10th, 2010 is the last time that I used heroin. I wish I could say that was my clean date, but it's not. But that was the beginning of me and my progression towards recovery. You know, my start on my journey. I started doing things to better myself. I started reading more. I started removing myself from the gangs, from the affiliations, from all the things that I was doing. You know, I hadn't walked away, but I wasn't drawn right into the middle of that chaos. Like, I could see the wrong in what I thought was right for once. I went to meetings. I still wasn't fully all the way into it. You know, I knew that the way I was living was wrong, and I knew that I didn't want to live that way anymore, but I was also living with a foot in both worlds. I thought I could start drinking. Like, because again, drinking is socially acceptable. It's normal, it's legal. I can drink and I'll be okay. But eventually from that, it leads to this, and it leads to that, and it leads to this. And then the next thing I know, I am back to where I was. And that's the progression of addiction for me. I remember this guy talking about a certain meeting, and I went to it. And the craziest thing happens. When you go into a meeting and you listen, you hear something. And I'd never done that before. You know, I went in there with my eyes open and I saw something. What I saw was I seen a guy with hope in his eyes. I seen a guy happy, like naturally smiling. And I wanted it. Like, I wanted what he had. And I heard a girl talk about it. It stuck with me till this day. Is the first thing that I remember hearing in a meeting that meant something was no feelings permanent. It got buy-in from me. It got me to realize, like, if she can do it, I can do it. And especially if this guy can do it, because I knew he had been through the things I'd been through. You know, that was part of my big problem when I came out, because I was that, you haven't been through what I've been through person. You haven't lived through and done the things that I've done, but we all have. You know, there's nobody that's perfect in this world. And there's nobody, especially in these rooms, that are perfect. And I seen that, and it took me seeing somebody that I knew had been right where I'd been.